Hi everybody, Carmen here from Carmen's Bronco Shop. So episode number 5. I know it's a little early, but with the isolation and everything that we're going through right now, it seemed like a good idea. I spoke with my production people and the caterers and my film crew, and all of us decided that you guys are ready for one more episode. Quite a meeting I had actually with me, myself, and I. Anyway, hope everybody's doing well. This episode is really cool. It's I've never seen another video, and they could be out there, about the installation of the windshield extension, cowl, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, that's here. So you're going to be able to watch that and see what's involved in that. And then you're also going to see the back of the truck come off, and it's going to be a good show. Hope you like it. Stay tuned. Anyway, there's where we're at. It's pretty exciting. So, floor sections in place, rocker panels in and out, door posts, kick panels on both sides. And now I just cut the windshield off a few seconds ago. I marked it in the center. So basically when I go to replace everything, I'm just going to go from the center out, which should work out well. The top part of the firewall. So I thought I would take a moment before I actually start pulling this cowling and everything off. I've cut the windshield off, and I'll show you that in a second. But the cowling, separating it from the firewall, is kind of a big deal. But it doesn't have to be if you take your time and you know exactly where the welds are for the most part and cut them all out. Anyway, that's what I'm going to show you right now. So I've taken and just ground off all along so you can see where all the spot welds are there, and of course right here as well. So I'm going to drill all those out, and I can't see how there can be any from underneath, and I've looked, but you don't know until you actually get at it. But that's what I'm going to do at this point, and then once that's off, I'll come back and do another little clip, and then we'll move forward to reinstalling the cowl and the end pieces here, and these end pieces as well. Oh, sorry, I don't have my camera in the right spot. These end pieces and these brackets as well. You can see the only thing that's holding the door post to this piece right now is that one screw, and of course all the welds that are up and down the side of the kick panel here and inside. So it should be, it's a lot of work, but it's fun work, and it should be done very shortly. Okay, so I had a great plan, and it's working, but because you've got to separate this bracket, the cowling, from the underneath, it's almost impossible to get in here and go all the way along with your chisel, because even though you've drilled out the spot welds, there's still all kinds of areas that it's still connected. Anyway, so what I'm having to do is cut the cowling in different places and move along bit by bit. And it'll come. It's a big job, and unfortunately, the top of the firewall, or cowling, whatever you want to call it, it gets sort of bent up along the way, and that will all have to be straightened out and reinforced. But it'll come. I'm basically just admitting that it's a little harder than what I thought it was going to be. But it's still a blast. Love it. It's going to be so cool when it's done. I finished off yesterday. I was taking the cowling slash windshield support out, and I was having a little bit of trouble. Not a big deal. Anyway, I came up with a plan, and it took me about an hour and a half, and I got it all out. So I just kind of want to show you what I did, because this is something that I haven't seen any videos on, and it was kind of a tough thing, and you had to think your way through, because you're dealing with some pretty rigid pieces of metal, and the way it's all welded together, it's not something that's flexible. So here we are. You can see that everything is apart now. Looks pretty harmless. The top of the cowling slash firewall is still in great shape. All right, a little bit of work needs to be done on this corner. No big deal. It's got to be straightened out from where I had to bend it yesterday to pull the windshield support out. But here's what's left of the windshield support. So as you can see, I ended up cutting it lengthwise to take some of the strength out, and then cutting it again in this spot right here and this spot here, and I actually cut another piece right out. So by doing that, I was able to bend it down and away, and then I was able to remove it from all these rivets that you can see right here. So basically I'm taking that support and I'm bending it down, and then I'm getting the chisel in underneath at all the spots that you can see. And by doing that, you're able to remove it without actually doing that much damage to the cowling. But you have to be sort of creative, and you can't be afraid to damage the piece that you're taking out. If you plan on using that piece again, then this won't work for you at all. So here's the new piece. It's pretty rigid, as you can see. So you're not going to be able to remove that and keep it in that kind of shape. You've got to cut it along these lines right here. Take and cut that right down. That takes that angle out of it, and then you can bend it down like I was showing earlier. It seems like it's kind of a tough thing to do, but it's not really. And now all of your kick plates, door posts, and everything are basically where they need to be. All right, so this new piece is going to sit right in here on top of that, on top of the door post, and on the other side, same thing. And as long as I keep it centered, you can see how I drew a black line right in the very center of the cowling. And I'm going to mark my new piece out, finding the exact center, and that'll keep things pretty square. And of course, I know the measurement from the floor up to the windshield support. When it's all done, it's about 22.5, I believe, or 20.5. I can look at it. Obviously, I'm not going to be 2 inches out, but that should keep things going pretty square. Okay, so as you can see, the new windshield cowl or cowl connector is just kind of sitting in place. The old one's been removed, and I basically straightened the holes out a little bit with my body hammer. The rest of this flange, I'm going to straighten it out. The idea is that this can be done, but you have to be prepared to massacre your old windshield cowl before you can get anywhere. Don't expect to take this cowl out of place and have it look like new, because if you're taking it out, it's no good anyway. Anyway, that's the plan, and you can see here where I basically got it centered up. Got a black line on the top of the firewall and a black line on the cowling, and it lines up. So now we're centered, and I'm going to put the vice grips on it there, bring it over to this side, and look at that. It's perfect, really, right here, the way that fastens on. I'll have to add my pieces into the end here, but we'll have it all screwed and tacked and vice gripped into place before anything actually gets welded, so that we don't run the risk of making a mistake and have to cut it out again. So installed the new windshield support, which was a big deal, but you can see it's all welded across there as well as here, and we stripped all the old blue paint off the top of the firewall, cowling, whatever you want to call it. And so that's looking really good. The engine's going to come out soon, all that good stuff. But today, it's kind of exciting because I'm going to gear up the cherry picker over there, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to pick the back portion of the Bronco off the box, so to speak, and we're going to sit that right here on the floor. Kind of keep it just so we can look at it, maybe get some measurements, whatnot, so that we can build the back, the new box, again, so to speak, with there's the floor over there. There's the pieces on the floor. We got pieces upstairs in the loft. There are pieces all over the place. There's the old windshield. There's a new windshield upstairs as well. Pieces that you go through, benchmarks that you want to get to, so that you can kind of keep yourself on track. And that was a big one because there was nothing left really up front here. And now we've got something solid to go from. So here we are, guys. We're kind of at the point where we need to lift the box off the Bronco. And we get the special machine to be able to do it right here. It's all bought and paid for. So let's see how it goes. Now obviously, don't try this at home. So like I said in the lead up from last week, you might think I'm losing my mind, but actually I'm not. It's all in good fun. Hopefully nobody finds that in poor taste, because back when I did that, when I was carrying on with the mask, that was in January, and nobody knew anything, nobody thought anything with the fact that we were going to be wearing masks and screens over our face and stuff this time of the year. Anyway, next show is going to be amazing. So we're at the point now where the only part on the truck is the drivetrain and the front portion. But after next week, you're going to see it all. Basically, we're stripping the rest of the body off. Engine's coming out, transmission, the whole shooting match. New suspension system is going to be installed, and I think you're really going to love it. So make sure you come back. Anyway, take care and look after yourself. And thanks a lot for watching. Oh, and if you're watching this on Facebook, share it with your friends. And if you're watching it on YouTube, press the subscribe button down at the bottom. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps me out. Thanks a lot. Take care, and all the best.